Oh wait, these characters have names? Holy shit.
Yeah, one of them is called the Green Beret.
No, okay, no, but like, they each have a class and a name. I'm looking at the Commandos series page on Wikipedia, and this is... They go into some lore.
Well, certainly in the first 3 games, they have names and backstories, like personalities even.
What the button is
I think.
now.
But in this, they don't seem to have names at all.
Well, there's Butcher, the Green Beret, Duke, the Sniper, Finns, the Marine, Fireman, the Sapper, Brooklyn, the Driver, Frenchie, the Spy, Lupin, the Thief, because we're real creative and inventive, Lips, the Seductress, and Whiskey, the Dog.
That's right. And Jack O'Hara, like, is their mascot.
Was this from like the other Commando games?
Yeah.
This is just on the main Commando series page.
Oh, do you mean the Akimbo Bower?
I wouldn't be surprised if that was in it. Oh, I'm out of bullets on this character too. Where's all the ammo? Ammo pickups, please. Is that just infinite ammo?
I don't see anything here about weapons akimbo. That would be fairly out of place in the Commandos games, which I remember tended towards gruesome realism.
Hey, what's up, dude? I keep going across this line here and getting murdered, so maybe I shouldn't do that.
So I have a question.
Wait. I also have a question. You go first.
I would like you to go first, because mine is a topic.
Mine is a dumb question. I'm looking at this list of characters, and not only do they have code names like Butcher and Brooklyn and Frenchie, but they also have titles like the Driver or the Spy, but they also have real names. And my question is, how is Lupin the Thief, when this takes place in 1918, or 1940, whatever, way, way, way before Lupin the Third was ever a thing?
Oh, Arsène Lupin. He's a classic literary character from the 19th century. Or I think maybe the early 20th century, possibly both. He's by a French author, and he was a gentleman thief who, in sort of individual stories, which were then published as anthologies, would carry out various daring acts of burglary after warning the subjects. And basically the character is now, I think, public domain, which means that Monkey Punch was able to adapt him into Lupin III, a story about his descendant. So basically, Lupin III is the equivalent of making a detective anime in the 70s called Sherlock III.
Yeah.
Wait, I have more questions now. Like, so Lupin the Third isn't Japanese; he's French.
The character is French, yeah.
I did not know that. I assumed he was Japanese.
It's easy to
anyway,
assume
go
that.
on with your topic.
Speaks Japanese on the the show.
Go ahead, because this just opened up a whole thing.
Actually, I really want to go on this tangent now. So here's the deal. The author of the Lupin stories had a crossover, like, again, in like the late 19th, like early 20th centuries, with Sherlock Holmes, where Sherlock Holmes showed up to solve an Arsène Lupin robbery, but failed because he was dumber than Arsène Lupin, who was too smart. And it was literally called Sherlock Holmes Arrives Too Late. Arsène Lupin was too smart.
Too smart to solve the crime. Oh no, he's a villain. Okay, he's the thief. Yes. Okay, yeah, I'm slow.
Arsène Lupin, basically he wrote a Mary Sue fan fiction for Sherlock Holmes, where his OC beat Sherlock Holmes, except that he published it. And that was illegal back
Sherlock's
then.
name?
No, I'm getting to that. So that was illegal. You weren't allowed to do that. And Arthur Conan Doyle was mad pissed because he's still around and active at this time. And he's like, fuck you, dude, you can't do that. So the author's like, okay. I'll change the name of the character. And do you want to know what he changed it to? Like, Chris, like, assume that I told you couldn't use the name Sherlock Holmes in your story. What would you come up with? As like...
Gregory House?
I'm like
No, 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 no.
99% certain that we've discussed this on camera before.
I have no idea.
Herlock Sholmes.
Oh my god. This is terrible. I hate everything. I regret ever opening this line of inquiry.
Yeah, Maurice LeBlanc was the original fucking troll.
We must all flee. The Nazis have set a trap for us. The mission must be aborted. We have to escape. Shit! How long do we have?
Wait, is this the same mission again? We just did it again?
Yeah, I lost through nebulous mechanics.
So, how is this not like a... So let me get this straight. We fought our way out of a plane and arrived in a random field to meet our contact who was in the field, even though we jumped out of the plane. And then he warned us that we needed to get out of there because they were going to attack. And then the Nazis had the, like, elaborate setup of, like, spotlights and machine gun turret nests waiting for us to arrive in this random field.
Do you get the sense that the story for this game was written after the missions were already complete?
I'm just confused, is all.
I'm also starting to get the sense the AI was written not at all.
Yeah, these enemies, as far as video game enemies go, seem pretty dumb, to be honest.
I feel like they'd have to be.
So, the Green Beret doesn't do anything while I'm the sniper, which is kind of annoying. I feel like you should be, like, out doing, like, NPC stuff.
But then it starts feeling like Star Wars Battlefront, doesn't it? Where, like, the old one, the one where you kind of bounce from character to character, but everyone else is doing stuff without you, where you can win ostensibly without doing anything.
That's true.
And I don't know if that feels good either, where it's like, what if you perform real shitty as a sniper, but then end up winning? Does that feel good to play?
And to be fair, I was criticizing the NPCs for firing up at our allies in the buildings instead of firing at us, a lone man on the ground. And to an extent, I'm kind of using the out-of-game knowledge that we are 1,000 times more dangerous than all of our allies are. You failed?
I don't know.
We seem to be back at this fucking hayloft, so I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I failed.
No, we did fail. Yeah, we did the same cutscene again.
Fuck.
What an elusive
Excuse
game.
me while I very slowly reload this gun.
Oh, you know what? I somehow was like 5 minutes behind.
Right.
I fixed it now.
Let me pause this stream I'm watching to go look up facts about Lupin.
Jesus, you're not even wrong. Okay, I wasn't looking up facts about Lupin, actually. I was because I was looking up when they were published, because I suddenly realized that, like, I kept saying late 19th, early 20th century, but I was pretty sure it was only one or the other. And in fact, it was.
Ah!
It was early 20th century.
This fucking... No!
Be honest with me, Josh. Look, I'm not knocking their inclusion necessarily, but can you envision a possible utility for those binoculars in this campaign?
I mean, if I were engaging people, like, up there with this character, that would make sense. Hello.
Can you, like, tag things?
I don't think
like,
so.
if you're switching from characters, it could be useful to, like, say, oh, there's a sniper here or something.
The first game I can remember where you could tag stuff was Far Cry 2. I mean, I'm sure you could do it well before then, but...
When the fuck was Far Cry 2? That was, like, 2009?
I want to say it was, like...
No, earlier than that. Like, 2004.
I want to say it was, like, 2007?
No, it definitely wasn't 2004.
2008.
Crisis came out before Far Cry 2 did, and that was 2007, I think, so... there any more ammo boxes around here, or am I just kind of like screwed now? Yeah, alright, whatever.
You gotta play tactically, Josh.
The captain's down! Help him!
Alright.
Alright, quick.
Now
Wheel
we got
2
these
M1
things.
Garands.
Now, unfortunately, we can't do that.
Just wheel 2 M1911s and we'll do this shit like Max Payne style.
Striking back!
Come on, how do I hear you? Alright, I guess I'm just not allowed to.
So what exactly is our mission?
Hold out until such time as we are arbitrarily allowed to not have to hold out anymore. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing at this point. If I approach the enemy here, I just get killed, so...
Yeah, don't do
They're
that.
not really sending anybody down here. Oh, there's that half track. Where is it?
I do like the
There it is.
in-screen notification.
No, it's kind of awkward. Although it again is something that is very Hitman-esque. Oops. Hang on, gotta reload. There we go. Can I get onto this thing? Hey, there's people in. Hey, hang on.
Don't get killed.
Good war advice. Thank you, Chris.
Josh, run away. You don't...
So I'm really annoyed that that grenade I dropped right in front of this thing apparently didn't kill anybody.
In fairness, the door was up and you kind of just daintily dropped it at the feet of the APC.
I was trying to drop it in the thing, but apparently I suck at throwing grenades. Can I get in here?
I'd like,
No, of
I'd
course not.
once again like to remind our viewers, just take a moment and reflect on how dated this is going to look in Modern Warfare comes out next year. Modern Warfare, you're like shooting people through walls.
Oh yeah, you got that whole stealth segment in Chernobyl.
Yeah, like,
Oh.
yeah, you know, you're sniping, but like, you're accounting for wind based on the flapping of a flag. You know, there's a sequence where you're dragged through the streets and executed. And your helicopter goes down when a nuke takes it out. This is the previous year.
I think there is something to be said for the idea that, like, Modern Warfare sucks in a lot of ways, but it
Where are
really
the
did
bombs?
scratch a particular itch at the time for something that wasn't so distant as World War II. Like, these games all aimed for that sort of, like, very distant nobility. Like, remember, Call of Duty for a long time had all that crap where you would die, and it would, like, throw up a quote from Churchill and shit. And, like...
It still does that.
It had
Yeah.
well, but it had, like, an air of respectability that kind of went away once we entered the modern era.
That's right, it was hagiographic is what it was.
Yeah.
To be fair enough.
Who is shouting?
I don't know, but it's making me laugh because it's uncannily like this old YouTube video.
It just
what was
reminds me
that?
of those geese.
What was that what was that World War II game that came out more recently than this, where it would have your voice, like your voice would only broadcast locally, so like people would actually hear you team chat as if they would hear you in real life.
I do not know.
Oh god, what was that? I know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, that's all you need to know to understand this, the video. But essentially, a guy would play this game, and he would bind his voice chat to just like the guy screaming from Sam.
Oh, we lost.
Serious Sam.
We lost.
I don't
We lost
understand
again.
what we're supposed to do. It feels like there are just as many Nazis on the other side of the bridge as they are on this side, and I don't understand.
I'm surprised it has a cutscene
Am I
to let
already
you know
carrying
you
the
died.
bombs? Like,
No, it's just literally clear the road of
one more
Nazis.
shot, I guess.
Kill all the Nazis.
Well, my opinion of this game has taken a significant nosedive. The moon is way too big.
No, you're just seeing it like it's too big because of the aspect ratio, and
Can we
because
skip
people.
this? Oh, there we go.
Oh, I wanted to hear Maurice talk about French stuff some more. So, I would recommend switching to the sniper and taking out the lights, because that stops the mortar fire. And the way you died is you lost all those Americans. Like, you have 5 Americans, and I think you get some reinforcements later.
Yeah, some reinforcements drop in, and then the Nazis just flank us. Isn't Commandos getting a remaster, like, next month or something?
Yeah, Nick Capozzoli just released a review of it on Vice.
Have you read
He said it wasn't good.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Let me pull
Is
up
it not
the
good
thing.
because Commandos 1 wasn't very good, or... Oh, no, it's Commandos 2, isn't it?
Yeah. I love the sub-quote here. Commandos 2 is remembered as a great stealth tactics game. This remaster aims to fix that.
Saints alive.
You know what game I could never understand the praise of? This is going to, like, totally left field out of the genre entirely, but Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. It was released in the late 90s, and it was just, like, a straight-up Star Wars reskin of Age of Empires 2. And so you had, like... You had to go collect food and build terrestrial bases in Star Wars.
Is this the one
and
I
it was
like?
the most, like what the fuck is this?
Oh,
kind
by
of
the
thing,
way, the
but,
game
like,
I was
someone-
talking about
oh,
earlier was, the game I was talking about earlier was Resistance and Liberation.
But like the mechanics of that game were so divorced from what you would expect from like Star Wars. I never really understood the appeal of it beyond like, you know, Age of Empires is fun, I guess.
It was, I mean, that was back when you could really get away with that. Like, when you could get away with Age of
Yeah.
Empires. You know how hard it is to make a game like Age of Empires these days? The last Age of Empires style game made was an expansion pack to Age of Empires 2.
Oh.
Like, that shit came out a few months ago.
Yeah.
What am I thinking of?
Oh wow. Okay, not going that
Am
way
I
with
thinking
this
of Empire
guy.
at War?
Empire at War was the one that we did on the New Year's stream.
Okay,
that
I
game
wasn't there for
has
that.
Issues. But yeah, that's the game that's got the land and space battles and the galactic overlay
Like,
and stuff
one
like
of them
that.
I really liked. One of the real-time strategy games, because like you had the Empire that had to invest in science using taxes, and then you had the Rebellion that had to actually steal their technologies from the Empire because they didn't have the
that's
power
Empire
of a
at War.
nation-state. Okay, that's the one I like. I'm looking at footage of Galactic Battlegrounds, and I'm very confused, because it literally is
Yeah.
Age of Empires.
No, it straight up is like, and they're not. It's not even by the same company, I don't think. So it was like, what? Did you guys just steal Age of Empires? Like, is this not? Is nobody like, hey, wait a minute, you can't just do that?
Can you imagine an original in-depth strategy game getting made for Star Wars today?
No, I literally can't, for like every reason.
Yeah. I mean, you can't make that shit work on a console. I'll tell you what.
I mean, but more just because the death of the mid-tier game, and also the mid-tier licensed game in particular.
Exactly. Well, and if you're gonna make like a mid-tier game, you need to succeed on a lot of markets. Like the Star Wars would not
Like,
like
give me a property. Give me a property you'd like to see done as a mid-tier game that you think would work as a mid-tier game if they still existed.
It'd have to be something
Stargate as XCOM.
It would have to be something where honestly, it'd have to be something where the brand is already of less value than the game. Like, the game, upon being announced, already has more of a cultural footprint
Stargate is
than
XCOM.
the actual source material.
I think Josh has got a good one.
Stargate is XCOM? Yeah, yeah.
That feels like the perfect fucking design strategy for a Stargate game. There were several Stargate games that were in development. None of them came out, and the Stargate MMO later turned out to be like a money laundering scheme or like an embezzlement scandal or something. like the owner of the company just ran away with the money. It was pretty wacky.
Honestly, I was actually thinking about a real example, and now I'm wondering why there isn't already a Dungeon Meshy JRPG or casual game.
Oh boy. Okay, fall back, Josh. You're not going to be able to kill them.
Nope. I blew up. There's no time to fall back now.
Just like,
okay, but like your instructions are fall back, and you can see all the enemies with the little pink stuff on the radar.
Like, just imagine a Delicious in Dungeon, which alternates between like battles against monsters, and then you collect their parts, and then you can use their parts, and there's like a little Cooking Mama minigame where you actually have to cook the meals.
Alright, now you gotta kill the Nazis on the other side of the road.
Yeah, I wish I
Nazis.
could figure out what bombs I'm supposed to be planting.
I don't think that's an objective you need to worry about.
That is why we keep losing, because we don't do that objective.
We keep losing because we lose too many Americans.
The Green Beret has been wounded.
Alright, let me see if I can find where to do it.
Does the sniper have them, maybe?
Too many allies have been killed.
No.
Alright, well, Josh lost World War II, guys. Sorry. Sorry! The Germans were really nice. They had 3 tries at it, but we seem to have not managed to pull it off.
God damn it. What the fuck?
Democracy has been cancelled.
Are we gonna try for the other one, or is that it?
Try for the other what? Oh, I mean, we've been doing this for 50 minutes. I don't know.
10 minutes is not enough time for you to lose.
Wait, so they give you tips, Josh? Use the tips.
Wait, where are the tips?
Down at the bottom. That's not a tip. The very bottom. There you go.
Uh-huh. Higher rank enemies are more valuable than lower. Why do we care about score?
Because you want a good rating.
What's your World War II high score?
So wait, go back to the map and see if...
Granddad was on the leaderboard.
I want to see if they tell you where to place the bombs. So what happens when you click different characters? Circled. For this character, what happens when you click the other characters? Or does it just tell you where they were when you died?
It's not letting me do anything.
You can't click those different characters?
Nope. And it says the left and right arrow keys to scroll through objectives, but that's not doing anything either, so...
Alright, I tried.
Well, this was certainly the last game in the Commandos series.
Womp womp.
Yeah, well, actually, hang on. We got one more thing we can do here. Let's look at the review for this game and compare it to our experiences with it. Chris, you had it, right?
One moment.
I'll bring it up too.
Should I bring it up on my screen, or are you guys just going to
If you want. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's pretty long.
Yeah.
It's a 7.5 for what it's worth.
Did the move to SPS help or hurt the celebrated series? Well, I think we might know this one, Tom McNamara.
They never made another one.
Retrospect.
Updated, 18th of May, 2012. Yes. No, they didn't actually say yes, but it was updated in 2012.
I think that's when they ported it to the new layout.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of like old reviews from that time period.
I gotta say that, like, I know that the running joke was that, a 7.5 was the minimum score, but this really seems like not a 7.5 game from the descriptions here.
I mean, that was like, I remember IGN in those days and like the inflated review scores, like 7.5 those days is like a 6 nowadays, a 2 or 3 stars.
Where the spy is generally satisfying to play, here's where the game's more lax attitude can end up making things too easy.
Oh, yeah, it was, you know what? I was just trying to lose and definitely was not extremely confused.
To be fair, it's talking about not the Green Beret combat.
The stealth stuff was fine. I don't know why they couldn't just make Sniper Elite like 5 years before Sniper Elite comes out and just dump all these other fucking characters.
This is my favorite thing about old games, and I think Chris has also mentioned loving this. The music is occasionally thrilling, although it sometimes swells dramatically when nothing is really going on. This is the best thing about like Morrowind, when like this dramatic theme song is pumping as I'm like very laboriously creeping along a banister, trying to like psychically reach a piece of cheese I want to steal.
I love that the review just constantly says how easy this game is, and how Josh couldn't get past the tutorial.
I wouldn't be surprised if there are people yelling at me right now for missing some obvious thing.
I would say that there was nothing particularly obvious about anything there. I mean, I was looking at the same game you were.
This is your Polygon Doom video moment, Josh.
No, well, like, we haven't had that already. We had that last week!
Yeah, see last week's fucking thief disaster.
We're still rolling, right? Because can we apologize for the thief episodes yet?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's your responsibility, Ruskar, and I was the one who knew what level to go to.
You know what? I'll take 100% responsibility for those. I think that maybe even suggesting the first place wasn't a great idea.
I'm really annoyed that there was that one fucking metal bridge that kept fucking me up on that stealth segment, because I could have gotten through without the moss arrows if it weren't for that fucking bridge, which is probably why it's there in the first place.
Yep.
And also, like, no one would ever cross that bridge unless they're following these guys. Especially not some random peasant lady. Alright, well, that has been a Commandos Strike Force, the final game in the Commandos series. Which, gee, I wonder why.